Good morning and welcome to America's Home Cooking. This video is on how to make gummy bears. I was trying to make one, like I said yesterday. This morning I told you my son came walking in. He didn't know the video was going and he just took over the whole thing. There's specific things that you're going to need. You're going to need a saucepan. You're going to need measuring spoons. You are going to need a scale to measure, because that's the only exact way you're going to get it. If you try it any other way, they said it's going to be slightly off and you're not going to get what you need. I have my scale out, which I'll show you. It's going to get crowded up here, so you just understand, please. I'll just do the best I can. I have my scale here. All right. Now, with candies, remember, I am not an expert. My grandmother was on this. You have to have everything really prepped, and once you start, you have to hustle, because the gummy bears get hard as they cool down. So you're going to be working with hot things, and you have to work quickly or it's not going to work. So I'm going to be taking you through a lot of different steps before we actually get everything in its order, before we even advance to do what we have to do. So we are going, and I'm going to divide my recipe. This is wet. I'm trying to dry it. Candy is controlled by temperatures and stuff. So if you try to make chocolate candies and it doesn't work, you could bet the humidity, or it's a rainy day, or maybe your kitchen is too humid and it affects the chocolate. So there's a lot of things that you have to learn with making different candies, and you find out not only do you need a candy thermometer, you need a chocolate thermometer, you're going to need other things. And I am not the greatest person. My grandmother should really be showing you this, but anyway, I've already made one batch and I showed you this morning. They were my apple gummy bears. I'm still having a few problems with it. I can get them down. It's just that I don't know how high to fill the little fillings. Let me show what you're also going to have to get. You are going to need molds, and they sell on Amazon with 4. You're also going to need, when you get the molds, they'll give you the tubes to feed it through, to fill the molds. You're also going to have to get Lorraine oils. These are all natural oils. They come in blueberry, grape, cherry, lemon, and apple. That's the one I got because I'm just starting. I don't want to waste a ton of money buying a lot of them. But anyway, they'll come like this, and they will come with a dram as well. This is what they call in the candy maker drams. All right, so letting you know what they're calling this stuff as well. You're going to need measuring spoons. You're also going to need gelatin. I am not going to recommend that you use Knox gelatin because it's synthetic and it tears the joints up where you end up with arthritis. It takes minerals out of those joints and your bones as well as your teeth. So I went on Amazon and I got Protein Essential Beef Gelatin. This is 100% from bones and stuff. So this is what I've got, and I have had it, and it doesn't affect me, because when I eat those chemicals, believe you me, I feel them in my hips. I do not feel it when I have this. This is why I usually didn't make Jell-O a lot. You're also going to have to buy citrus acid, all right? That is a vitamin C, if you must know. All right, I got it from the Kitchen Alchemy, because this is alchemy that we're going to be doing here. We're actually doing chemistry right now. We're walking into it. Now, this is sorbitol powder. You're probably saying this sounds like a chemical. What this is sugar alcohol. That's what it is, and it comes from corn syrup. And corn syrup comes from corn cobs, the cobs of the corn. Another thing is fruits and vegetables have this in it as well. So if you eat fruits and vegetables, you get this. So I know that this should be safe. And once again, it comes out of the Kitchen Alchemy. Now, I was reading up on some other stuff they had, and one definitely says chemical, but I want to see if they're taking it from the fruits. If they don't take it from the fruits, then I'm going to back down off of it because I don't want to do it. All right, you are going to need gave you all of these. You're going to need to get corn syrup. This one calls for clear corn syrup, but there's other ones you're going to need dark corn syrup. So that's pretty much it. All right, I think I pretty much covered it. Oh, one more thing. I forgot. Hold on. I am so bad at times. And yes, I like long skirts more than pants, believe it or not. All right, you're gonna have to get a non-stick cooking spray. Now I got bowl and basket because it didn't have preservatives in it. I was very careful reading all of them. Any of them that had a preservative in them, I want something very simple. Now this has preservatives. I have read this whole thing. If it's anywhere here, I did not find it, all right? Now, what you're gonna do is get some paper towels and you're going to lay them out. Why are we gonna lay some paper towels? I'm gonna get you started on some of the stuff we have to do. What you're going to do is you're gonna lay these on the paper towels. We're gonna spray them and then you're gonna turn them upside down and let the excess oil come off. So you'll just have a thin coat here for them to stick. So that's what we're gonna do. So find a place where you can lay some paper towels out because we've got 4 of these that we have to sit there and spray. And if you want to see me, we'll turn this way where you can see what I'm doing. And here. Check them. If you didn't catch them, catch them. Make sure you hit all of them. I'm just going to turn them upside down. No, this is the only way I can do this one. You have to make sure it gets that oil on them, or they won't come out. And we're going to cut this recipe in half, and it will cover for all 4 of these. That was a mistake I made. I tried doing 3 of them at once, 3 colors, and it didn't work. So I'm only going to use 1 color. And the color I'm only making 1 flavor this time, and that will be lemon this time. The green ones you saw in the video, the short, was an apple. All right, turn you back around. I'm going to leave those alone. All right, now we're not even going to work with the gelatin and water yet. We'll get to that in a minute. But first, in a small saucepan, we're going to combine, remember, we're going to 4 ounces of sugar. So do get a scale so you can do this. If I give you the other measurements, they said they're not guaranteed that they would work, so you have to do it by weight. That's 4 ounces. And I'll show you that I'm actually weighing it out on the scale right here. Put that in your saucepan. And you need 1.5 tablespoons of sorbitol. Hold on 1 minute, I'll be right back. Okay, another thing you're going to need is a pastry brush. I'm sorry. Now we're going to put this. Do I have to have anything in this? Okay. All right, and we need a small bowl. I'm sort of going back and forth. because I only have one scale. So we'll put the saucepan. We got one more thing to add, but we'll add it after we do the next one. All right, we're gonna put the, we need 3 ounces of water. Make sure it's cold water and put it in the bowl. Okay, that's 1, 2, come on. Okay, that's 3 ounces of water. I know, looks like everything is being held. All right. Put the water aside for a minute. We'll get to it in a bit. Now we're going back to the saucepan that I need. I know it seems a little crazy the way I'm doing it. It's just that I don't want to wash this thing 101 times. Well, I'm trying to get everything weighed out. All right. Next, you need 4 ounces of light corn syrup. Get the rest of the water out of that. Okay. That's it. Come on. Tell me I got too much in there as fast as I moved. Okay. Okay, there. Now I got 4 ounces. You're also going to need a spatula. They do not want a spoon, metal, or anything. They want a spatula. I know you're probably trying to write all this stuff down, so I wish you'd get it all together. You're going to pour the corn syrup into your pot. Okay. Don't worry. Put that on the stove. We're not turning it on yet. I know you want to, but you can't turn it on yet, all right? Make sure your little bottle, you have everything opened to where you can open it quickly, because once we start doing this, you're going to have to move rather quickly. Now, we're done with this. Okay. You're going to need a fork. All right, now in the water, we are going to add 3 tablespoons of gelatin. What you're going to do now, you don't want to whisk this, you just want to mix this until you get all this gelatin dissolved in it. Don't worry, it's going to get real thick. What you're trying not to do is get a lot of bubbles. That's what happened. And some of my gummy bears were small and some were bigger. My son had to inform me, and I said, I'm learning. I don't have my grandmother standing next to me to correct me every time I did something wrong. So And you'll see it's going to get really, really thick as you mix it. Make sure it's all mixed. And you see how we're not adding any extra air into it? That we don't want. I know you're saying you're getting a lot of bowls and stuff. Yeah, we're going to need them, believe it or not. Make sure you got it all mixed. You're going to need a bowl about this size. Let's see, it's a Pyrex and just said Made in USA, that's all. It's what? It doesn't have how much it holds, and I was trying to read that for you, but I cannot. All right, you're going to need another little bowl. You're going to put some water in this, cold water. Now, this is what you're going to use your brush for. What's going to happen when we heat this stuff up? It develops crystals, and the crystals have to be wiped down, or it leaves a gritty taste in your candy. So that's what we're trying to avoid. I'm trying to clean up the mess here too, so I can bring you over and see what I'm doing. I'm going to need placement too. Huh. Okay, now we're going to bring you over. If I move you real quickly, please don't get dizzy and fall. Okay? But this is about as far as I can bring you right now, because I have too many things here. I don't think I need these anymore. Let me see what else I need. Okay, just the citrus acid. We can put these in here, because I only need a teaspoon of that. You're going to turn this on a medium-high heat. The corn syrup, the sugar, and the sorbitol that we put here. And we're going to melt this. And we're going to get it up to a simmer. I'm just trying to bring you closer so you can really see what I'm doing here. Now we have to bring this to a simmer. And you see how it comes up on the edges here? Oh, let me see if I can get you closer. I'm going to be moving you all over the place. You really need to see this. Okay. You see where this sugar is here? We're going to have to wash that down when this comes to a simmer. That's why you need another little bowl with water and a brush, because that's what we're going to do. It's a medium-high temperature. We're going to bring this to a boil. Make sure your sugar doesn't burn. When it gets liquidy, we can sit there and stir it better. And just watch it, work it into it soon enough. See how it's changing? Watch what happens. This will keep the crystals from forming in your candy. I can't see. Just make sure you get it all down because you don't want to mess it up. And that's it. I have to move you here. I am sorry. You're going to get dizzy. Okay, I'm taking it off the flame. You're going to put the gelatin in it. Get all your gelatin in it. And your citric acid, you're adding 1 teaspoon and you're going to stir it all in. That's it. You're going to need a strainer, by the way, as well. And right now we're trying to get the gelatin melted. Once the gelatin is melted, we're going to strain it. No, we're going to let it sit 10 minutes, but we've got to get the jello melted first, the gelatin. Okay, now what you're going to do is let this sit literally 10 minutes. And then I will be back and we will move forward. Okay, I'm going to talk with you a bit. You are going to need food coloring if you want to give these things color, all right? You see the white foam developing on this? We have to take all of that off. That's why we have to let it sit 10 minutes before we can do it. We're going to scrape this off, and then we're going, after we scrape it off, then we're going to actually strain this into this container. Then we will add our pure lemon flavoring from Loran oils, and we'll be adding the food color and mix it up. And then we're going to start filling those. So that's what I'm actually waiting for. So you're going to need a spoon and take one of your bowls because you're going to scrape this foam off. And it's going to be tacky and sticky. Don't worry. We'll show you how we get it done. So I got 2 more minutes and I will be back. Oh, I forgot to tell you, you need a pot that has a heavy bottom on it so you have distributed heat. If you don't, it'll burn. All my pots have that, so I don't think about that. Okay, so I know All Clad and I know Cuisinart have, all their pots have that on the bottom to make it easy. So you have that distributed heat on a low flame and you get the results you're looking for. Okay, it's time. Now watch how it's done. You just scrape off the top and you'll see how tacky it is. See that? Yes, it is very tacky. Okay, you put that to the side. It's very tacky, I am not kidding. And the rest we're going to strain it. I just want to get my hands clean to get this off so I can work with it. Alright, so I got most of that off. And here is what I'm going to be doing next. Because you don't want the foam on it. Okay. You don't have to put food coloring in it. And here's the lemon oil. You need about a teaspoon. And I think that's enough because it really smells lemony now. And you're going to mix this until it's thoroughly mixed. Get it the color that you want. Does that look yellow enough? Okay, I'm probably going to make a mess. Now this is when we start making a mess. Okay? You just fill these things up. See, after you spray them, you put them upside down, the excess will flow off, and you got it. This one has a bubble in it. If you don't move quickly, you will find this will get so thick you won't be able to work it, and you have to throw it out. It's not easy. But the thinner it is, the easier it is to fill these. So that's why I tell you to work quickly. Because as it sits and that cools down, it's going to start gelling. You got 4 of these trays to fill. And half the recipe, and I did half a recipe, and it should fill all 4 of them. And you should even have some left. But very little. When you finish filling them all up, you can then check and see which ones settled a little low, and you can go back and fill them. By the way, this is not my first batch. The first was a mess. They were horrible. I got good flavor, but just trying to figure out the best order to do it in where you get the best results is what I was working on. Come on, you got bubbles in there. Come on, pop. And why should you do these? Because they're more nutritious. Because you're not allowing the companies to give your family preservatives that can cause them problems later in life. I'm sure nobody wants a sick child, and to think that you leave a legacy of sick children behind. Now, if they mess their bodies up after you've done everything, you can't be blamed. And you know, people say ignorance is no excuse for the law. Well, and it's no excuse not to get up and do things right. At least that's how my parents were. Okay. You'll notice as we're working, it's getting a little thicker. So you can see some of them haven't quite filled. You'll get to see it as you work with them. I'm still learning that part. Maybe I should have bought a double set of Gummy Bear molds, but I just bought 4. And I can tell it's already getting thick. You see how it's getting thick? It's getting harder to get in. Now, if you see some that are low, just add more to it. That's what I'm doing right now. Okay, let me see if I've got any over here. They're very hard to see if you've got them all level. And see, I have just a little left to do some more, but I don't have any more to do. Definitely get this in water, hot water, or you won't get it clean. And that is it. Now, what you have to do is you're going to move them somewhere and let them first set a bit at room temperature. Then you're going to move them to the refrigerator and leave them overnight. And then in the morning, we'll pop them out and see how they look. Well, you've already seen the apple ones I did, if you saw the short. But if you didn't, you missed it. But anyway, you take care. There's no more but me to clean up my mess now. All right, so listen, enjoy your afternoon and take care. Bye-bye.